I just want to make a clarion call for the leaders. This issue is not political. This is a matter of justice, a matter of fairness, a matter of equity. And it's the reason we should come together, we should join hands, regardless of our political differences and affiliations. We need to come together, to have a chain, to have that network, to collaborate and push back. Fight for the people, fight for justice. It's important. That is my call. And as the authority leaders, we have already convened the council sitting on the 11th. We are going to sit. The speaker has already issued out a notice. We are going to sit. And amongst the issues we are going to discuss is on how to secure justice for our people. This is not time for us to fight for political positions. It's not time for us to divide ourselves along the political lines. We are going to collaborate. We need to collaborate. We need to work together. We need to build a network. We need to sing in unison and fight for justice. Not a matter of now putting at the forefront our political interests, our differences, what it's about fighting for justice for our people. It's the reason I invite everybody to share our ambitions for 2026, focus on the agenda we have of fighting for justice for our people. That is my call to the leaders. And in that line, we have called for a special council sitting on the 11th of July, whereby we are going to discuss all these issues, chart a way forward on how we are going to secure justice for our people, and how we are going to link up with all the leaders, build the networks, and if need be, visit NEMA again, and ensure that we bring force to bear on them to understand that this matter is a matter which requires justice to be observed, justice to be done. The law we are talking about, the NEMA law, it came in force in 2019. But prior to that, people had settled in wetlands. People had secured the land titles. People had actually acquired different interests in wetlands, legal interests. Of course, with the authorization of government agencies like Uganda Land Commission, district land boards, and many of them have got agreements, they have got land titles and so on and so forth. So, are you going to invalidate or cancel all those titles? Is it feasible? We asked the executive director, NEMA, he said it is not. And we wanted to get a formula on how this is going to be done after we are put in place. The committee provided for under the NEMA Act, which is going to work on all these activities. So we want all this done as early as possible to ensure that we get to understand who owns what. My call to the communities, the affected parties, the affected communities, they should prepare the record. They should prepare their agreements. There are different agreements they have, the instruments they have to validate their interests within these particular areas we are talking about. So we need to collect all that information, to gather that information. And we have asked the leaders, the LOCs, to spearhead these efforts, to spearhead this program, this arrangement, to ensure that people prepare their respective records, their agreements, their titles, and whatever they have to serve as evidence for their ownership of these particular properties.
Yes, we have talked to NEMA several times, and all we want is that our people be compensated before they come to break them down. We cannot live in a city whereby we do not have the people around. These people have been around for a good long time, and we are ready as Parliament to make sure that we approve their budget they come up with of compensation. That is the major thing. We agree with each and everyone that we need to preserve the environment. That is one thing that even we, the leaders, see that we need to reserve because of the global warming. But we need to compensate our people so that we can all live in a fair and a free justice society. Let us not look to be that there are those that we leave out and they are not affected by the law, and the poor at the end of the day are affected, all those that literally have less voices. We have seen them as well give out court notices to those that they think will battle with them in the law. But those that they think that will not battle with them with the law because literally they cannot afford the lawyers, they have gone ahead to just ambush them and break them down. This is wrong, and it should not be accepted in this era. Ugandans should not be discriminated and be taken for granted. We should all be treated equally. We still stand firm, and we think each and everybody that has been led to build all this time because they have agreements and documents, they should be compensated. Nobody should be thrown out without being compensated.
Thank you so much. Sandy Mosh African is my name, a representative of Makindye East, right here in Makindye City. We prefer calling it Makindye City because it is an area that has lots of Ugandans that are hardworking, lots of Ugandans that are law-abiding, lots of Ugandans that are trying to survive in their own city and in their own country, that is Uganda. It is very sad that we've reached this extent of exchanging with another authority, that is KCC and NEMA, yet we are supposed to work together for the development of Kampala. This has happened very many times right here in Kampala, where people get their property demolished, their lives lost, and nobody cares about all that. We should know that every Ugandan has a right of living in their country peacefully. Every Ugandan has a right of surviving in their city peacefully. Recently, during the NAM conference, there's a very big area that I represent in Kansanga, where over 50 houses were demolished. As we speak, we have over 5,000 people that are homeless. Who's going to care for those homeless people? We always talk about fighting crime, we always talk about developing the youth, but how are we going to fight crime when we go on raking up whatever happens because we need to appease a few people? There's a very big problem in Gaba and the areas of Munyonyo, where we have the very wealthy living side by side the poorest of the city. But what happens is when they are trying to make sure that they enact those laws and they enforce those laws, the very wealthy are left aside, they are protected by the military, and the poor are forced to be evicted, their property is destroyed, and we're not going to live in this situation like that. My appeal to government, the last word, this is my appeal to you. You see these Ugandans crying every single day when their houses are broken. You see those Ugandans suffering right now. The day they wake up and say enough is enough, nobody's going to like it. Nobody in a huge fuel guzzling vehicle is going to have peace again. Nobody staying in apartments feeding on taxpayers' money is going to have it well when there are millions of Ugandans down there suffering in their own country. What we need to do as a country is to plan for those people. There are nations like Thailand, there are nations like Japan, where they have way more wetlands than ours. What they've decided to do is to live side by side with nature, to plan for the people, to plan for activities that can make them be there, activities like urban fishing and all that. So we need to plan and stop this nonsense of enforcement and evicting Ugandans like they have another country. Thank you so much.
Tuli wano tukunganye mu lusalo luno tugenda okulaba nti tukuuma obutonde bw'ensi obwasigalawo, naye awaali watwalibwa oluvannyuma oba before amateeka gano wagende abantu abaliwo babeerewo, kubanga gavumenti era efuga abantu, ate abantu bano abalimu era abasinga abawagizi ba gavumenti eno yennyini gye tulimu, ate bagiwangira nnyo, tebagiwa ne ssente ez'emisolo mu mazzi, mu masannyalaze, mu busuubuzi n'ebintu ebirala byonna. So tukubira omulanga omukulembeze w'eggwanga, kubanga ye tumanyi nti jjajja muzeeyi, jjajja w'abantu, tukubira omulanga jjajja alowooze nnyo ku bantu abali mu bifo bino, naddala abasinga okubeera mu mbeera etasobozesa kugula wakalu, oba alternatively tusaba gavumenti eveeyo eteekewo affordable housing, kubanga ekibateekayo kufuna bwe bateeka luba. Gavumenti esobola okuvaayo n'enkola ennungi eba affordable housing units nga bwe kyali kitandikiddwako ennamu ekifo ekibadde ekikyamu nekibeeramu n'emyala gitambuza amazzi nga giri designed bulungi nga giri mu Kampala ekibuga mwennyini nga walala nakivubo kyano, n'emirala gibeeremu ng'amazzi gatambula, naye nga n'abantu balina abasangiddwayo nga balinako bwe bassa oluba, ate nga baweereddwa n'obuyinza okusobola okukugira abantu abalala okwesenza mu ntobazi zino. N'ekisemberayo ddala gavumenti esooka eyongera okuyimiriza okugaba pamiti ku ba developers abanene, ate abanene bano bafuna development permits akaseera kano kenyininyini, n'olaba nga waliwo okumenya abamu ate nga wala bali mu kuyiwawo ku ssaawa y'emu, kireetera abantu okugamba nti mulimu abaana n'ebyana. so tuweewo moratorium eyogaba pamiti empya tusigaze ezaffe be baawadda tusigale nga weetuli ababbi babagambye munoonyeko awalala ate n'ekikeredde okubeera ekikulu abantu bano abali mu bitundu bino ebyobusobozi tusobola obbawayuza charge nga tugibajjangako buli mwaka ng'eyo ssente egenda mu nsawo ya consolidated fund buli alinamu ennyumba mu kisaalu ng'alinawo akasolo akatono kagiweera nga ssente ezo zigenda mu bya environmental conservation kijja kutuyamba okukonsavinga kubanga ssente nnyingi nnyo tibalajja kwagala kuvaawo kuviirwa nnyumba ye naye oli lwasooka kusula $5,000 oba 10 egy'omwaka ssente zino tuziteeka mu fandi emu neekuuma butiribiri nnyo entobazi zonna zonna ezisangiddwa nga zikyaliwo nezitwongerako n'okwongerako endala ssente ezo tusobola okukompasatingako abantu abalala abaagala okuva mu bitobazi ne babituddiza nga gavumenti netubawaayo ku ssente nga zivudde mu fandi kugeza wano we tuli tusasula omusolo gwa environment kati ssente ezo bwetubanga buli muntu akimanyiddwa nti asasula tusobola okufuna obuwumbi n'obuwumbi n'obwesedde netugenda ate nga tugula abalala wetulabirira nga wali vanalewo tujjawo abantu batubawa compensation nebanguliza okugenda okugula awantu awalala nga boolaba gavumenti bwe yasalawo nega nti ababodaboda babeere mu kibuga Kampala ng'ate yali ebagobyewo ng'eraba nti okubajja mu kibuga kiyinza okuvaamu obumenyi bw'amateeka kubanga bangi era nabo mu lutobazi nabo era bonabagoba nabo security threat
tulina endagaano kwe twagulira kuliko sitampu z'abachairman ate nga abamu ku ffe tubadusasula n'obusuulu mu Buganda gavumenti. So tusaba webanga baagala okukozesa entobazi zino batuyirire tujja kuvaawo nga tetukoze nsasagge yonna naye baba baagala tujjawo namaanyi tugenda kukola ensasagge. Francis Musisi ndi Webuziga.
Kikyamu nnyo ddala gavumenti okugamba nti ejja abantu mu ntobazi n'etabaliyirira bajjamu batya abanaku ng'ate bw'ogenda mu ntobazi munyonyo sudirwa yemu ettaka hotels nyingi eziri mu ntobazi naye gwe ngamba otya nti bw'oba ossaawo entobazi omuntu wa wansi ye gw'omukiriza. Nze Sekyanzi Stephen Irish kansala w'Igaba.
Mu Uganda muno mulimu ssente nnyingi ezimu bazijja mu World Bank n'olwo ssente ziri mu land fund n'abako batwala banga agulira abantu ettaka saidi zeeyo emasindi oyima naffe nga bali mu ntobazi ffe twetaaga just biliyoni emu oba biliyoni emu n'ekitundu batugulira ettaka mu bitundu by'empigi Katende awo batuwa omukisa tusasule emyaka 5 owakiri mu myaka 5 nga buli mwaka tusasula gavumenti kwezo ssente eza land fund. Nze Sembata Dalausi omutuuze waliwo Kiruddu